Hi there, Frank Mims with the Mims Morning Meeting. Back to you on day 13 with closing business in the fourth quarter tips. Look, had an opportunity to visit with a counterpart about 2 weeks ago. They do the exact same thing as Mims Morning Meeting. We try to train salespeople. He has a slightly different twist. He trains attorneys on how to sell. Went onto his website. His name is Allan Colman. Allan Colman, you might look him up. He's with the Closers Group. Picked up one of his white papers that he offers on his website. Just for registering or sending him your email address, you can get a very good white paper. He has a white paper that contains 14 tips on closing, how attorneys should be closing their prospects. Yes, attorneys have to sell also. Believe it or not, that business just doesn't walk in the door because they have a shingle hanging out. Doesn't work that way. They have to sell too. They do networking. But Allan has come up with a plan on how attorneys can sell themselves and be effective in doing it. Read through all of them actually. The tips that he gave, the 14 tips that he gave, strangely enough, they mimic a lot of what I say in my videos. I want to take one of the tips out of here and use as our 13th tip. I think it would be most appropriate. And here's the one I like. Ask for the business. So tip number 13 is asking for the business. He explains it here in his white paper, but most of us don't ask for the business. Nope. We'll be fantastic through the prospecting phase, through the proposal phase, through the fact-finding phase, through every phase we'll do and be very conscientious about everything, but when we get to the close, we don't ask for it. You say, what do you mean by ask for the business? I know you say you always ask, but trust me, you don't. When you put that contract in front of that customer, the first thing you should say is there any reason why we can't get this signed today? And you should be handing him the pen at the same time. At the exact same time. And be ready to handle any objection he comes up with. Any. Your mission is to get that signed today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Today is your job. Have your questions lined up. Is there any reason why we can't get it signed today? And keep your mouth closed. Don't say a word after that point. Let him talk after that. You've asked a question. That's the first key point. When might I get that contract signed? I'd like to take it back to the office today. Those are closing questions. Have you a list of at least 10 closing questions anytime you have a contract ready. Read over them before you go into the appointment so you're ready. Close the deal. He talks about it in his white paper. I've talked about it in my videos, and I still run across people that don't close. Tip of the day, close the business. Ask for the business. Tip number 13. This has been Frank Mims. I'll see you on tomorrow with tip number 14 of closing business in the fourth quarter. Tips.